Moving forward, Jane Birkin caused waves with her role in the film Blow Up. Her brief nude appearance became one of the most discussed moments of the 1960s. At the time, audiences were shocked, critics were divided, and censorship boards scrambled. Yet that scene is now remembered as a landmark moment in cinema, representing a shift toward realism and artistic freedom rather than pure provocation. Another actress whose on-screen nudity sparked intense debate was Julie Christie. In films like Don't Look Now, her intimate scenes were considered daring and ahead of their time. Some viewers praised her for honesty and emotional depth, while others felt the scenes crossed moral boundaries. Decades later, those moments are still analyzed in film schools as examples of how nudity can serve storytelling rather than spectacle. In the 1980s and 1990s, controversy took on a new tone, especially with the rise of erotic thrillers. Sharon Stone's performance in Basic Instinct is one of the most famous examples. Her nude scenes became pop culture history almost overnight. The film generated enormous buzz, but also serious criticism, with debates about consent, exploitation, and media sensationalism. Stone later spoke openly about how the scene affected her career, both opening doors and creating lasting challenges. Kim Basinger also found herself at the center of controversy with 9.5 Weeks. The film's intimate scenes were widely discussed, sometimes overshadowing the story itself. While some critics dismissed the movie as excessive, others argued that Basinger's performance was fearless and emotionally raw. Regardless of opinion, the film left a permanent mark on her public image. The 1990s also saw Demi Moore making headlines for her role in Striptease. Although not explicit in the traditional sense, her nudity and the way it was marketed sparked intense discussion. Moore became one of the highest paid actresses at the time, but the backlash was harsh, showing how public judgment often differs for women in Hollywood compared to men. In a different genre altogether, Kate Winslet's nude scenes in Titanic became one of the most iconic moments in film history. While the scene was brief and artistic, it sparked global conversation. Winslet was praised for her confidence and refusal to conform to Hollywood's unrealistic standards. Yet she also faced objectification and constant questions about her body for years afterward, highlighting the double-edged nature of such exposure. Halle Berry made history with her role in Monsters Ball, which included intimate and nude scenes that shocked many viewers. The controversy didn't stop her from winning an Academy Award, but it did spark debates about whether actresses of color face added scrutiny when taking such roles. Berry herself described the role as emotionally demanding and transformative. Nicole Kidman is another actress known for taking risks. Her nude scenes in films like Eyes Wide Shut stirred controversy due to the film's themes and the intense media focus on her personal life. While some critics viewed the nudity as essential to the story, tabloids turned it into a spectacle, blurring the line between art and gossip. In more recent years, Natalie Portman's role in Closer reignited discussion about nudity in serious drama. Her scenes were praised for emotional authenticity, yet they also sparked debate about how female vulnerability is portrayed on screen. Portman later spoke about the pressure actresses feel to justify such choices in ways male actors rarely have to. Charlize Theron took a different approach in films like Monster, where nudity was stripped of glamour entirely. Instead of controversy rooted in shock value, the discussion centered on transformation and realism. Still, the role pushed boundaries and challenged audience expectations of beauty and femininity in Hollywood. Margot Robbie entered the conversation with The Wolf of Wall Street. Her nude scenes became instantly viral, and while many praised her confidence and screen presence, others questioned whether the attention overshadowed her acting. Robbie later explained that the scenes were her choice and served the character, sparking broader discussion about agency in the film industry. Angelina Jolie's early roles, including Original Sin, also stirred controversy due to explicit nudity and intense themes. While these roles helped establish her as a bold and fearless performer, they also led to her being labeled in ways that took years to move beyond. Scarlett Johansson has faced repeated scrutiny for her nude scenes in films like Under the Skin. The film's unconventional style and raw imagery divided audiences. Some hailed it as groundbreaking, while others were uncomfortable with its stark portrayal. Johansson later spoke about reclaiming control over her image and refusing to let controversy define her. Eva Green is often associated with provocative roles, particularly in films like The Dreamers. Her nudity sparked major debate about artistic freedom versus shock value. Green has consistently defended her choices, emphasizing context and character rather than public reaction. Finally, Florence Pugh represents a newer generation of actresses challenging norms. Her nude scenes in films like Midsommar and Oppenheimer sparked conversation not because they were scandalous, but because of how openly and unapologetically they were presented. Pugh has spoken strongly about body autonomy and rejecting shame, signaling a shift in how these conversations may evolve in the future. Looking at all 16 actresses, one thing becomes clear. On-screen nudity has never been just about exposure. It reflects changing cultural values, power dynamics, and the ongoing struggle for control and respect in Hollywood. For every moment labeled controversial, there is a deeper story about choice, pressure, art, and audience perception. As viewers, it's important to move beyond shock and ask why these scenes exist, how they serve the story, and how the industry treats the people involved.